If your players feel slow and out of position, it's possibly due to your tactics. You need the right formation and tactics on FC26, and there is so much information on YouTube. But let me tell you one thing, I'll be giving you 4 formations that you need. The first one is the 4-2-3-1 wide. Why? Because you need to understand defending in this game is hard. Any formation with CDMs is automatically good. But what makes the 4-2-3-1 wide special? Guys, you can see we have a triangle between our CDMs and a cam. The same goes for the 4-2-1-3. Whenever there is such a triangle, we are able to pass the ball a lot better compared to playing with formations such as the 4-4-2. Not that the 4-4-2 is a bad formation. We'll talk about it, but with the 4-2-1-3, because we have a middle cam and 2 CDMs, we can play easy through balls and end up scoring easy goals. Your cam in this formation will be set as a playmaker. Now, most tactics you will see shadow striker. I prefer playmaker because playmaker helps you in defending, as well as the fact that playmaker has a more consistent positioning on the pitch as compared to the shadow striker. Shadow striker is definitely good, I believe, for most FC26 players. This one is the best one, that is playmaker. For our LM and RM, guys, see, if you're losing the ball a lot in the middle of the pitch and you see, okay, all my attacks are ending in the middle of the park and I'm not able to exploit the width of the pitch, then I would recommend setting one of them as a winger, because in this game defending is hard on the counter attack. But once the defense settles, people are using AI defending, some people, right? And with numbers in the box, it's hard to attack against them. That is why you need to go in the wings. Therefore, use winger on one of them if you are not able to do it with the inside forward role. I personally use inside forward on both. Why? Because I can then take the ball in the wings manually using my dribbling and cut the ball back. But if you are struggling with that, try winger. Now, we have a new role, that is box crasher. It's a good role, but it's not something that I personally prefer. I prefer more structure with my CDMs. This is why I'm not even using deep lying build up this year. On the CDMs, both of them, I am using holding. If you really struggle to defend and you want more positioning, you can go fullback, defend. Now, before I show you the tactics, let me tell you one thing. Tactics will level you up as it is. However, they are not everything. I have coached hundreds of players over 7 years who were struggling in low ranks and they ended up hitting elite ranks. Now I have created one place for all of that, my school community, where I'll review your gameplay personally, give you gameplay breakdowns. We will have a serious group of FC players who push each other every day. Hit the elite division in 90 days or you'll get your money back. Check the link in the description below. Now back to the tactics, guys. I have seen pro players recommending high, and that isn't the wrong advice. I'm not saying it's wrong to use high. But what I have seen in my coaching sessions, players are struggling to right stick switch. Players are struggling to mark runs. Therefore, I recommend that you use balanced. Yes, start off with balanced. Once your switching is good, you can switch to high. But there is a formation in this video where we will use high as well. But for now, balanced. Now, build up style, I recommend using short passing or balanced. I would say stick to balanced. Okay, this is the first formation, but it will not work for some of you. The most offensive formation, by the way, here is the code. The most offensive formation that I have personally used is the 4-4-2 with both strikers set to advance forward. But here's the truth. It is hard to find the feet of the striker when both of them are set to advance forward. Why? Because they are way high up on the pitch, almost offside. This is where I was using Florian Wirtz as a false 9. He has ++ in this role. Wirtz as a false 9 would drop back, give us an extra passing options, and he can then play through balls. You know, player lock through balls are really good in this game. He can play through balls to Fernando Torres with the player lock. This is a variation you can use. Let me tell you, the false 9 role in this year's game is amazing. But if you want more out and out attack, then I would recommend using both of them as advanced forward. Now, in 4-4-2, I would usually recommend box to box on both of your CMs. But again, I have explained it before. In this year's game, we need structure. Therefore, I recommend using holding on both of them. Now, inside forward, balance, goalkeeper, defend, or sweeper, keeper. The 4-4-2 is definitely a more fun formation compared to the 4-2-3-1 wide. It is more fun. It gives you more attacking opportunities. It is the better attacking formation. It is the best attacking formation in the game, but it is very attacking. This is why some of you struggle with it. But if you want to go for an attacking approach, this is what you can use. I was using high on this formation, but I have explained it to you guys. What is the problem with high? You can go 50. I would recommend using 50, but if you don't want to use 50, if it is too deep, you can keep it 60. Don't go 70. That is just too much. That is overkill. And here you have the tactics code for the 4-4-2 formation as well. Then we have the 4-2-1-3 wide. Tactics haven't changed since the last time I showed you this formation. Roaming on both of your right wing, left wing, attacker, advanced forward, playmaker, holding. Fullback, I have changed it back to balance whenever I switch to this formation, which is rare. Why is it rare? Because I don't prefer playing with wingers. I prefer left mid, right mid, right? That if I do change to this formation, I use balanced. Balanced high, 62. Again, you can tweak it to 50 if it's something that it does. Again, you can tweak it to 50 if it doesn't suit you. If you look at pro players, you'll see 4-2-3-1 wide, 4-4-2 flat being used the most right now. And then obviously we have my personal favorite, the 4-4-1-1. Now, the tactics I showed you for the 4-4-1-1, I have changed them because this was too much FC25 oriented. Like this formation was playing like FC25, and I realized that we need to change some things. Therefore, in the 4-4-1-1, again, holding is what I am using on both of my CMs. My Alexia is back to playmaker. My striker is advanced forward, whereas my left mid, right mid, they stay as inside forward. My fullbacks are going to be balanced, but we can use defend. If we can switch them to defend if we want more structure at the back. Again, with your CMs, if you feel okay, you are lacking in attack, you can go deep lying build up, or you can go box to box on one of them and holding on one of them. I prefer you start with holding and then you switch accordingly in game. This is why it's important to understand tactics. Just copying them blindly saves you time, but it is not the effective way of playing this game. Balanced high. I am using high on a lot of formations, but I have realized that balance suits me better. With high, it's very hard to track against good players. Now that I am in higher divisions, it's hard to track against good players in delayed connection, but again, sometimes I switch to high. If I concede a couple of goals, I switch to high, put some pressure, and then go back to balanced if necessary. Now, these are the only formations you should be focusing on. 4-4-1-1, 4-4-2, 4-2-1-3, and the 4-2-3-1 wide. Now, my recommendation is to play the 4-2-3-1 wide from the first minute of the game. Analyze after 30 minutes. If you're struggling to create chances, go to the 4-4-1-1. Once you feel like, okay, I need something more, go to the 4-4-2. And then the last formation, if you still want more direct counter attacks, then you'll go to the 4-2-1-3. But usually 4-2-3-1 wide followed by the 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2 should work well for you. Now check this video out here to learn how to defend against these formations.